Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today is our part 2 of Tower Defense Simulator Noob to Pro, and we will be trying to get a Molten win. As you can see, I did a tiny bit of off-camera grinding getting the Ducky skin for Demo Man and the Miltons, which is honestly not bad. I also switched Scout out for Milton, which is really good switch out because Scout is honestly one of the worst towers in the game, unless it's golden. So we loaded into the map Four Seasons, which got a rework a while ago actually, and I think it's pretty nice. I checked everyone's loadouts and found out most of us were actually noobs, and one of us only brought Farm and Militant, which was one of the dumbest strategies I've ever seen. I skipped to around wave 15 so you could see how our early game was doing. Someone got a DJ down, I got a couple militants and a hunter down, and just started playing it out. I was honestly just trying to upgrade my militants and devilmans so we could use some DPS, but here and there I did get a couple hunters, as you can see one right next to the DJ, and right here around wave 20 it was a very close call, because one of the necromancer bosses almost got through, which was very scary because necromancers can summon, and that's not good. So around this time, I was trying to max a Demo Man for a lot of crowd control, because crowd control is one of the best things in the game for Molten because of its spammy type of wave system. I was low-key just watching other people, and I did get a max Demo Man eventually, which was pretty good. And my other teammates were spamming militants around middle and back, which is pretty solid for early and late game defense. And I focused on maxing out my other Demo Man, which would be very helpful in the late game, or I guess mid game for giant crowds. But this is where two necromancers spawned, which was honestly really bad. But we got them over, and then the next round, literally next wave, two molten golems spawned, and we almost died. We only have one barricade and a couple militants, and we did end up killing it, but like barely. It was very tight, and we did kill it. At this point, I was contemplating on getting some militants down right at the middle just for a lot of DPS, and I used the new left shift feature to get a couple down. I then started upgrading them to level 2, 3s, 2s, 1s, and then I realized I ran out of money, which was not ideal. At this point, my computer was turning into a potato because I'd been playing for a little while, and I don't even know if I was going to disconnect at this point because my computer was lagging so hard. We also had a little bit of a close call with these elite hazmats on wave 29, but we clutched up. And then I started getting some hunters down and some militants and started maxing out some, which was crucial for DPS on killing some of these tougher enemies, like the Molten Executioner. My voice is not okay. So around wave 30, the Molten Executioner spawned with a whopping 36k HP, which is wild. We only have starter towers, with one person only having, well, 2 towers, which is not the best idea at all. We mowed down half of the horde, but we were not even close to killing the Molten Executioner. So I decided on maxing our militant, which actually helped a lot in our DPS, and saw that my demolins were actually demolishing those breakers, which was one of the most crucial things I talked about earlier, because crowd control was insanely good for molten mode. He started stunning some with random shotgun or some other dude pushed around, and he just randomly kept stunning this one militant that literally did nothing to him. I don't know what he did. I then maxed out another militant, which was really good DPS, so that's good. And then he stunned another one of the militants, which is one of our best DPS towers. We did eventually get him down, and he dropped a logbook, which was really good because I have a mission to collect those. I'm skipping to around wave 33, where my game was literally struggling to beat a computer at this point. And this is where things got really laggy. I'm sorry for this, but like, you're just gonna have to deal with it if you're watching this video. This is where a ton of molten spawned in, and we almost leaked to a tanker boss until my militants clutched up and killed it. So this is where we started shredding everything, but then I noticed we had a molten summoner right next to us which is probably not very good because Molten Summoners are really tanky and they summon. But our teammate clutched up hard with the flashbang, like that did so much. Totally not being sarcastic here. He summons again right before he's about to die. We get a couple more hits on him, and then his inevitable death happens after one more summon at least. Well, I guess he doesn't die till like 51 now. Yeah, sorry, that was a bit early, but who cares because I haven't narrated in a long ass time. Anyways, let's get back into it. I started maxing a couple more Miltons, so that was very good for late game DPS because it was one of the only DPS we had. And also got a Demo Man right around here because DPS was very helpful, or my bad, crowd control was very good around the spots. So I did get a max Demo Man, which was very good. Oh, I guess I didn't. Well, that's okay, because then I did get it. And then my game started literally turning into a magma. Like, I don't even know. It was on fire, dude. I got another molten logbook, which is pretty nice. And then there was a ton of enemies overthrowing us. We had so many molten enemies and a ton of bosses. Even two molten executioner and a molten summoner. Some of the most best DPS checks in molten mode right now. If you don't know what a DPS check is, it's when they send out, the wave structure sends out a super tanky enemy and expects you to beat it, and if you don't, you lose. So we did end up beating both of them, the summoner going first, and the executioner going soon after, although without a couple stuns though. We did end up killing him, which was pretty easy though, and then we hit the final wave, which was pretty intense. I'm just going to show you the entire video of me beating the Molten Executioner, because he's insanely cool and insanely hard to beat. I got another Max Hunter and started going back to see what was happening. I saw that he was absolutely massive with 180,000 HP. I knew this was going to be tough, so I locked in. I started looking at everything I could do. I checked at how much HP everything was had, and the Molten Executioner didn't even have any damage on him. And he was stunning everything. And then the Molten Warlord was just demolishing us. So I knew we had to lock in. We did kill the Molten Summoner, which was really good because he kept summoning. And this is where my game was turning into a potato. We did kill it, and then it was on to the Molten Executioner, which we didn't even do damage to yet. But we did shred him, only him getting to half HP in like 2 seconds. He died right around the second band, which was pretty easy, but then the Molten Warlord stunned like 15 times, which is one of the most annoying things bosses can do. We did some insane damage on that little curve right there, and then he stunned again, which was not ideal, but he stunned the towers in the back, so I guess it was fine. We were doing a crud ton of damage, and we thought we were going to win. At least I thought so, because we were doing incredibly well. But his HP was kind of going down really slow around late game and middle, because our DPS was kind of in the front. So we did everything we could, getting him to half HP, which was pretty good. At this point, I realized I had a little bit of money, so I put down a Max Hunter, and hopefully that would help. But then he stunned our towers again, which was really not good. And then I realized I was almost out of money, and then I gained a giant paycheck of 20k, because this bed is really good for getting a DPS check. What am I saying? Really good for getting damage on in the boss, because it's just a giant bend and they can't even hit your towers. So we were hitting a lot of bullets and damage on this Molten Warlord. He is stunned again, and I thought this was kind of maybe be over for us, because 40 HP and almost at the end, I thought we were cooked. So I realized I had already placed all my 20 strips, and then I tried to do it again because I was so sleep deprived, not being able to do anything. He was at 20,000 HP, almost about to die, so I sold one of my Miltons so I could get one in the back. which I don't know why, but I was just checking the damage for requests. I sold one and immediately replaced it at the back because I was lagging so hard. I don't know if you guys can tell. I got the melted down. We shredded the boss. He was like one stun away from winning, but we got the W. And my teammate said, I hope we win, which we did. I spammed W's in the chat, and we absolutely demolished him. It wasn't even close. We did actually get a achievement from this, which was really nice, and a damage flag, which was also really nice because damage flags are really good for DPS. So I returned back to the lobby, trying to just like see what I got and maybe get a reward from the achievement, which is honestly based because money is money. I also reached level 19, which was really cool. I checked my rewards, scrolled down a little bit, and found that I had unlocked 375 coins, which is based because I had all my coin boosts. I claimed 100 XP, clicked out, and checked my towers. I was checking the tower's prices. I was contemplating on getting minigunner or ranger, and I was just checking everything. Found out commander is actually pretty good, and I almost bought electro, but I figured out I could just save for a minigunner. I checked what I could buy, and inevitably just ended the recording there. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be posting another video.